Eva Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaitanya Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiriye Nashtaprayeshu Avatreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevi Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. So continuing with the discussion on Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat by Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur, Part 1, Summary of Lord Gaura's Pastimes, Adikhanda, first chapter, 25th verse. We'll start today. Dvaumaso tatra chaivatsin madhum madhavam evacha Rama kshapasho bhagavan gopinam ratim avahan. Lord Balram, the personality of God, resided there for the 2 months of Madhu and Madhav, and during the nights he gave his cowherd girlfriends conjugal pleasure. Balram's Raslila is described by Srila Sanatana Goswami in his Brihad Vaishnav Toshani commentary as follows. In this way, Sri Baladev first solaced those gopis who was attached to Krishna and thus fulfilled the principal purpose of his visit. He thus exhibited his affection for the residents of Vraj. Thereafter, he enjoyed spring pastimes with other gopis. He then says regarding the words Ratim Avahan, Rati refers to the original mellow, Adiras, or conjugal love. The prefix A means properly, and the word Vahan means having received. Because he is Rama, he is expert in conjugal affairs. He is also the Supreme Lord. So he is very expert in the various types of conjugal pastimes mentioned in the Kamshastras. Or the word ta in the previous Bhagavatam verse can also refer to those gopis who were greatly afflicted out of separation from Krishna and whose only desire was to see Krishna. Therefore, Balram resided in Vrindavan for 2 months in order to please the gopis of Braj with conjugal pastimes at night. By the use of the word cha, it is understood that Lord Balram remained in Vrindavan for more than 2 months because the gopis were greatly afflicted by feelings of separation and because Lord Baldev is most merciful and gives happiness to everyone. So he stayed in Vrindavan for 2 months, or he had one sentence it says more than 2 months. And he gave satisfaction to everybody, to his own set of gopis by performing Raslila with them, and to Krishna's gopis just to placate them by talking about Krishna. In his Laghu Toshni commentary, Sri Jiva Goswami writes, the word Gopinath in this verse refers to other gopis, for the use of the word gopi does not always refer to Krishna's gopis. If one says that both subject matters are the same, Krishna enjoyed pastimes at night with the gopis, and Baldev also enjoyed pastimes at night with the gopis, so there is no difference between Krishna's gopis and Balram gopis. In reply to this, it may be said that no one should have such doubts, because the gopis described in the previous Ras pastimes are different from these gopis. Therefore, one should understand that Balram's gopis are different. So Shri Baldev expertly pacified Krishna's beloved gopis and then went to those gopis in whose presence he was once teased by Krishna, who said, my dear older brother, the gopis are desiring the touch of your broad chest and the embrace of your 2 arms. These joking words indicated that although Balram did not touch those gopis at the time, it would take place in the future. There is no mention that after Krishna killed Shankhachuda and played holy with his beloved gopis, that these gopis, described as subordinate to Krishna's beloved gopis, received Krishna's touch. So it should be understood that Krishna instructed these gopis to carefully protect their chastity for the pleasure of Balaram. So they are just 2 different sets of gopis. According to this, it should be understood that Krishna solaced these gopis as explained above. The word Kshipasu means most confidential. The word Rama in this verse refers to one who is qualified for enjoying. In Miskram Sandarbha, Jiva Goswami writes The gopis referred to in this verse as Balram's gopis are those who played holy along with Krishna's gopis after the killing of Shankchuda. It should be understood at this point that these gopis remained chaste under Krishna's instructions. There is no mention of these gopis receiving the touch of Balram in his earlier Braj pastimes. There is only some mention of their strong attachment for Balram. Therefore, Krishna mercifully requested them to protect their chastity for the pleasure of Balram. In his Brihad Kram Sandarbha, Jiva Goswami writes, he pleased his gopis means that he pleased his own group of gopis. See, so many acharyas in different scriptures, they have explained everything. It just either we access those scriptures and then understand, or we should just have full faith in the Lord. Maybe our understanding is not there. The faith should be there. Because those who don't understand, those who are of atheistic nature, those who are demoniac nature, they are always going to judge Krishna according to their own uh, diverted or pathetic mentality. I'm trying to find the right word. They're going to judge Krishna by those things. And then, okay, he was immoral. And now even if they read Balramji's Raslila passage, Balramji was also immoral. First, we have to understand what are their positions. Position of Krishna, Balram, position of gopis, the setting of these pastimes. And then again, we cannot judge the Supreme Lord by our standards. He's completely different. It's just like if we drive on the road and then there is a stop sign, a red light, we stop at the red light. We're supposed to stop. But if somebody is flying in an airplane and he crosses that red light, he's not supposed to stop at the red light. It's not for him. He's in a different vehicle, at different um, height, and he has his own rules. So our society rules are for us humans, not for the Supreme Lord. And then we have to understand his pastimes or his rules through the people who understand this, who are self-realized souls, not some debauchees. Oh, Krishna was doing Raslila pastime. Raslila means dancing with many women, so I can also do that. No, you cannot do that. If we try to imitate Krishna's Raslila pastime or any other pastime, we'll will this will putrefy us, not purify us. And moreover, we cannot imitate. If we want to imitate Raslila, why not imitate lifting of Govardhan hill? Why not imitate dancing on Kalia? So, Krishna's pastimes are for him to perform with his devotees, for his pleasure, for their pleasure. All we can do is read about this, talk about it, and then get purified. So it takes away our desire to enjoy materially. That's the whole reason behind these pastimes. And takes away our desire and fills in our heart a desire to be able to serve Krishna and gopis in those pastimes. That should be the whichever way we can serve, even if like uh, Ras Purnima pastimes, Sharad Purnima, Kartik Purnima, we prepare kheer and then we keep it on the roof or wherever we can keep, praying to Krishna and the gopis when they are tired after their pastime. Please accept this bhoga that I'm keeping it here. And Krishna does accept. And the gopis, I mean, they would be so pleased. They must be tired after Rasila. So they need to have something. So that should be our mode, not to try to judge Krishna with our standards, which we don't follow ourselves anyway. In his Sararth Darshani commentary, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has quoted Sridhar Swami as follows. The conjugal affairs of the gopis mentioned in this verse relate with those gopis who had either not taken birth when Krishna enjoyed his Raslila pastimes or who were too young to take part. This is a standard understanding of the previous acharyas. Our Prabhupada, Sri Sanatana Goswami, has stated that these beloved gopis of Balram were those who had joined Krishna's beloved gopis in the holy pastimes after the killing of Shankhachura. So, details are given so we don't misunderstand those pastimes. Purna Chandra Kala Mrishte Komudi Gandha Vayuna Yamno Pavane Reme Sevite Stri Ganer Vrita. In the company of numerous women, Lord Balram enjoyed in a garden by the Yamuna river. This garden was bathed in the rays of the full moon and caressed by breezes bearing the fragrance of night blooming lotuses. Balram's Raslila is described by Sri Sanatana Goswami in his Brihad Vaishnav Toshani commentary as follows. In order to please Balram and increase the beauty of Vrindavan, the eternal full moon of the transcendental abode appeared. Eternal full moon of the transcendental abode, not this material moon. In this verse, the phrase Sevite Striganer, in the company of numerous women, refers to gopis other than those who enjoyed pastimes with Krishna. In his Sararth Darshani commentary, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur states, Shri Balram enjoyed his Raslila pastimes on the banks of the Yamuna at the famous place called Ramghat. This place is far away from the place of Krishna's Raslila pastimes. So, different place, different set of gopis. उपगीय मानो गंधर्वैर वनिता शोभि मंडले रेमे करेणु यूथेषु महेंद्र एव वारण नेदुर्दुंदु भयो व्योम्नि ववृषु कुसुमेर मुदा गंधर्वा मुनियो रामम तद वीर्यर इडिरे तदा. As the Gandharvas sang his glories, Lord Balram enjoyed within the brilliant circle of young women. He appeared just like Indra's elephant, the lordly Aravat, enjoying in the company of she-elephants. At that time, kettle drums resounded in the sky. The Gandharvas joyfully rained down flowers, and the great sages praised Lord Balram's heroic deeds. So all these denizens of heaven they were watching and playing on their kettle drums, and Gandharvas were raining down flowers. And I'm sure Apsaras must be dancing up there, and the great sages are praising Lord Balram's pastimes. Some editions have Udgayan instead of Upagiyamano, and Mahindra Varano Yatha instead of Mahindra Iva Varana. In either case, the meaning is the same. Since these two verses from Srimad Bhagavatam have not been commented on by Sridhar Swami, Sanatana Goswami, Jiva Goswami, or Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, it appears that these verses are not found in some editions of Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay. Explanations on these two verses may be found in Bhagavad Chandra Chandrika commentary by Veera Raghavacharya, who comes in the Ramanuja Sampradaya, and in the Padya Ratnavali commentary of Vijay Tirth, who comes in Madhva Sampradaya. So in Gaudiya Vaishnava, they didn't choose to give commentary on these. स्त्री संग मुनि गण करे निंदाना तारा और रामेर रासे करे न स्तवन. Sages condemn the association of women, yet they glorify Lord Balram's association with the cowherd girls in the Ras dance. Because Balramji is not like us. So sages condemn the association of women for people like us. Not at all, not at all. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, Sri Shukdev Goswami condemns the association of women and those who are attached to women in the following statement to Parikshit Maharaj. O king, the lifetime of such an envious householder is passed at night either in sleeping or in sex indulgence, and in the daytime either in making money or maintaining family members. Persons devoid of Atma Tattva do not inquire into the problems of life, being too attached to the fallible soldiers like body, children, and wife. Although sufficiently experienced, they still do not see their inevitable destruction. So, so this is just a regular, normal person, and daytime they spend time making money or maintaining family members, and nighttime either sleeping or sex indulgence. And these are the persons devoid of Atma Tattva. They do not inquire into the problems of life. They don't even want to know. We are so busy, I have no time. But and they are attached to fallible soldiers, fallible soldiers, and those are going to fall down anyway, body, children, wife, or friends, or any of that. Nobody, none of these can protect the karmis. But still, we have full faith in them, full faith in our money, all our possessions, but nobody can protect. And so much time we spend in collecting all this and taking care of all this. What about our soul? What about our journey, spiritual journey of the soul? People are not even worried about that. Oh yeah, हफ्ते में एक बार मंदिर जाते हैं ना, पूजा करते हैं. So I'm very religious person. Well, better than not doing anything, but it's still just not enough. It's so difficult to make people understand. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, Lord Kapil Dev, third canto, Lord Kapil Dev says to his mother Devhuti, if therefore the living entity again associates with the path of unrighteous, influenced by sensually minded people engaged in the pursuit of sexual enjoyment and the gratification of the palate, gratification of the tongue, he again goes to hell as before. See, another beauty of Vedic literatures is that these are universal instructions. Not just say, oh, for Hindus you have this instruction, for Kafirs or others, these are this. No, these are universal instructions. Anybody who does this, and this is going to happen. Because these are the instructions for the soul. Body, in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, it is already said, you're not this body. So after Bhagavad Gita comes Bhagavatam, and after Bhagavatam comes Chaitanya Charitamrita. For the soul, although he uses the body, he can use the body in the purpose of sense enjoyment, or he can use the body in serving the Lord. It's up to the person. But if someone doesn't use the body in service of the Lord, only uses for pursuit of sexual enjoyment and gratification of the palate, he again goes to hell as before. He means the soul, not the body. Body will remain here, whether burnt or buried or becomes a stool of worms. This is going to happen to this body. He becomes devoid of truthfulness, cleanliness, mercy, gravity, spiritual intelligence, shyness, austerity, fame, forgiveness, control of the mind, control of the senses, fortune, and all such opportunities. For one who is too busy in gratifying his senses, one should not associate with a coarse fool who is bereft of the knowledge of self realization and who is no more than a dancing dog in the hands of a woman. Dancing dogs in the hands of a woman. Vyasadeva could be very strict, or Shukdev Goswami could be very, very heavy sometimes. The infatuation and bondage which accrue to a man from attachment to any other object is not as complete as that resulting from attachment to a woman or to the fellowship of men who are fond of women. At the sight of his own daughter, Brahma was bewildered by her charms and shamelessly ran up to her in the form of a stag when she took the form of a hind. This is how dangerous it is. Amongst all kinds of living entities begotten by Brahma, namely men, demigods, and animals, none but the sage Narayan is immune to the attraction of Maya in the form of woman. Just try to understand the mighty stretch of my Maya in the shape of a woman, who by the mere movement of her eyebrows can keep even the greatest conquerors of the world under her grip. Mere movement of her eyebrows can keep even the greatest conquerors of the world. And they could have conquered, like so many examples of there, Cleopatra and Second World War time also, women spies. They can just conquer because even if somebody is a great conqueror of land or the wars, if he has no control over his senses, and Bhagavatam says nothing better than the play dog in the hands of women. One who aspires to reach the culmination of yoga and has realized his self by rendering service unto me should never associate with an attractive woman. For such a woman is declared in the scripture to be the gateway to hell for the advancing devotees. Of course, it means men also, for ladies, should not be attracted by men. The woman created by the Lord is a representation of Maya, and one who associates with such Maya by accepting services must certainly know that this is the way of death, just like a blind well covered with grass. A living entity who, as a result of attachment to a woman in his previous life, has been endowed with the form of a woman, foolishly looks upon Maya in the form of a man, her husband, as a bestower of health, progeny, house, and other material assets. A woman, therefore, should consider her husband, her house, and her children to be the arrangement of the external energy of the Lord for her death, just as the sweet singing of the hunter is death for the deer. Heavy, heavy, very heavy. But But the problem is in the material world, everybody is under the clutches of Maya. Whether Maya keeps us bound up here in as as attraction to opposite sex or attraction to attachment to power, position, it's so difficult to get out. Only Only remedy is this Mahaprabhu has given, and Prabhupada has very mercifully brought it to us. Just hear, chanting and hearing, chanting and hearing. Hearing of the holy names, hearing of Krishna Katha. So we start getting attracted towards Krishna and his pastime, which is going to purify us. Instead of getting attracted to uh, mundane um, activities. This is going to do nothing except entangle us more. So, okay, anyway, we can stop here. See anybody has any questions or comments. Okay, you all have safe and wonderful day. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Ram.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Jai Shri Ram.